Warning: the following episode contains spoilers about the film Bad Samaritan. Stephen, other Keith, and Jimmy Jerome continue to go where so many podcast hosts have gone before, with It's All Been Trekked Before, a Star Trek rewatch podcast. They're wrapping up the animated series in July and then diving into the first 4 films and a bevy of special episodes, including a discussion of the original Star Wars film, a Futurama special, and a look at the 1970s sitcom Quark. It should be out of this world fun, and will likely contain a few of those types of terrible cliches. And coming up on August 10th is It's All Been Done Radio Hour's 50th monthly show. Can you believe it? Head to Mad Lab at 4:30 p.m. for a special show featuring the recording of our 250th podcast episode. Finally, find out why Ratcliffe hates Woosley. Wait, is that the same Stephen Woosley from It's All Been Trekked? Huh. And a lead character will be departing a segment. Also, for the first time, you can buy beer at the performance. Oh my god, I didn't know that. Get back in character. Right, yes. Where was I? Then, at 10 p.m. that same day, we'll be presenting IABD After Dark 3, a non-canon experimental version of the show with improv, part swapping, and more. Beer will also be available at that one. Get your tickets at madlab.net/tickets. Check out our website at itsallbeendoneradiohour.com and support us at patreon.com/IABD. Welcome to Marianne's Macabre Review.
Welcome to Marianne's Macabre Review. Today we have with us Jessica, Keith, and myself. And we watched Bad Samaritan.
Twice, in a way.
Kind of. It took us
2 sessions.
2 sessions to watch it because we are bad at time management. So let's get started on our general thoughts. This is one we've actually had in our books for a while to do because David Tennant, the guy that plays the kid in this, I can't remember his name. I think it's Sheehan or something like him. He's in...
So those are 2 separate people. David Tennant, who plays the villain, and then also another actor who plays the kid, or the protagonist, who is the Samaritan, I guess, the titular character.
The Bad Samaritan.
You sure David Tennant's not the Bad Samaritan?
He's not doing good.
No, I know, that's why he's bad. Unless it's...
Well, yeah, the idea is that the main character, it seemed certainly like at the beginning that he was going to be a bad Samaritan, or even not good at being a good Samaritan. Either he was just going to not do it, or he just kept being sort of...
Hence the line.
Inept.
Hence the line the woman has at the end, like, that's how you rescue someone. Because he was so bad at it.
That was pretty funny.
He was very inept.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want the disc synopsis, or should have had it up here?
Do you want to go ahead and do either the disc synopsis or the actual synopsis?
The disc synopsis was not good. Yeah. So, what's the main dude's name? I don't even remember.
I'm looking it up right now. The guy's name is Robert Sheehan, but he plays Sean Falco. And David Tennant plays Kale.
So Sean is Irish, first of all. This is important because it feeds into one of my critiques later. Yeah. He's Irish. His mom's Irish. His dad's American. And that's why they're in America.
In,
Or it's
like,
his stepdad.
Oregon or something like
Yeah,
that.
in Oregon. And he's kind of a bum. He resorts to a life of crime.
He's a
which
photography.
is stealing
person.
things.
Ostensibly.
Yeah.
And so him and his friend have this scam where they are valets for a local restaurant. And what they'll do is check the glove compartment, and if the people live close, they'll go rob them. But Sean's whole thing is you take stuff that they won't notice, or you take a photo of their credit card number, whatever. So they get a guy who comes in with a, what was it, a Maserati?
Yeah, I think so.
And they go to Sean goes to his house, finds this weird lock on his office door, so he's like, interesting.
Must be money behind there.
Opens it, it's a dark room with a computer. He's taking a picture of his check, and in the flash, sees a woman chained up. A woman who has not made a single sound this whole time, like, is terrified, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, sees her, freaks out. He goes to, like, figure out a way. He does try. He's like, I gotta find something to get rid of the chains, whatever. But then he gets spooked because the guy, David Tennant, can, like, look at her while
There's
he's
a
not
camera
home.
with a light on it.
Yeah, there's a camera, like a webcam or something mounted in the room where she's being kept.
Yeah.
She,
So
she warns him that he can check.
he comes back with bolt cutters, but realizes that he's watching, and he gets scared and he leaves.
The Chekhov's bolt cutters, by the way.
Yeah.
But that don't really actually come into anything, which I thought was great.
Yeah. And then
Well,
David Tennant realizes that he did this and proceeds to fuck his life up.
Oh, it was amazing. The amount of shit he went through
Yeah.
to mess up the guy's life.
So that's
yeah, so
the summer.
let's get to some of Jessica's criticisms.
We don't want to do general thoughts first?
Well,
Whatever.
all right. Yeah, I mean...
Did you like it?
For the most part.
Did you like it, Keith?
ditto. For the most part, yes.
I
enjoyed it, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie.
And as usual, David Tennant was amazing.
Yes. Dave, I was reading in IMDb that the three main characters, the kidnapped girl and David Tennant and Robert, all have accents. And if she were putting on an American accent for the thing, I was like, why not just let them do their accents? Because, I don't know.
Well, why would that many people with accents be in Oregon, I guess?
In Oregon, yeah. I guess
they're starting to stretch a little bit. They probably made some allowance for Robert. And
do you think Robert just couldn't do it? No, he doesn't. He does an American accent and
yeah, I mean,
and Umbrella Academy, right?
Oh, I haven't heard.
Yeah,
I haven't watched
I
it.
suppose.
So I don't know. Is it any good, or is it like Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange American accent, where you're
felt
like,
like he had-
that's...
I didn't notice it.
It felt like you had to put on like an affectation the entire time to get
Yeah,
a certain kind of sound for the voice in Umbrella Academy. But
I recommend it.
yes, that does not really affect the quality of the show at all, really.
Yep.
David Tennant, to me, by the end, when we were watching it today, I realized he sounded sort of like Brad Dourif.
Yeah.
Chucky, voice of Chucky.
Yeah, he is...
Really good at doing voices because he did a few voices during the thing, like calling a hysterical restaurant owner and calling something to the police.
Yeah.
You were going to say something.
I lost it.
Damn
It's
it.
gone.
Well, I think that was what the test of being able to do the dialect is going through different ranges of emotion and
Still sounding.
yeah.
Angry,
Not like
upset.
noticeable. It's more. It was noticeable if I hadn't known who he was, and I kept kind of adjusting his voice to hear what he normally sounds like. So that was a little distracting, but
So-
I don't think I would have noticed maybe. If,
Okay, so I didn't notice, but Keith, I will remind everyone that he is a voice actor, so this is his profession. So he is going to put extra cares and into thinking about stuff like that. So if you're maybe not a voice actor, or maybe if you are finicky, you might hear it. I didn't. I just absolutely love David Tennant, so
Yeah.
I'm probably a little bit more forgiving, but I didn't notice it.
no, I didn't. Again, I'm not just like, oh, that was awful or anything. I couldn't help but think about it. my first note was that Jessica had this solved quickly. from the like what to do in the house. What should he have done?
I was like, you literally leave the door open, turn the lights on, you call the police, and you go, hey, she's in this room right now. Get here.
Come now.
And you call from his phone, like his house phone.
Yeah.
And then they don't know it's you. You're just like, look, I was robbing the place and I came across this girl and I can't get her out because she's literally chained. Please come now. Like, you can fucking arrest me. Yeah.
And right, so he didn't do those things.
No, and I'd have stayed on the fucking phone and been like, I am on the phone with you until you fucking get here. Because this is terrifying.
All right, so to be fair at that stage, I think that, not that I've robbed houses and come across this situation before, even had to think about that kind of thing, but I feel like I'd be pretty worried about the idea of being caught. I mean, you have to get past the idea of he needed some time to think he's not going to be able to live with it if he doesn't. And I think in that moment, it's like, I need to get out of here. And also,
and he was scared.
Yeah.
Because he found his murder room.
Yeah.
Like, while he was looking for bolt cutters, he found his room where he dissolves bodies.
Yeah.
So he's like, I am dealing with a fucking next level psycho.
A bag of, like a bulk bag of lye.
Oh, yeah. Giant ass. And it's plainly written on it, lie.
Just so y'all know. Just so we all get it.
Yeah.
And we're like, Yeah, and if he has a setup like that, that means he's killed multiple people.
Many, many people.
So I get him being terrified. Because I would also be terrified. Be like, what the fuck?
Looks like the camera might be on, and then they'll just wait a couple more seconds. And no, I think I'm going to go.
Yeah, the whole thing with the bolt cutters and then driving the car back and then having the bolt cutters on the seat. It's like, buddy, I know you were scared, but buddy.
Yeah, did you see how meticulously all his shit was put
Yes.
clean and all that stuff?
He likes everything organized. He is definitely a very organized and neat person. I shy away from saying OCD because he didn't seem OCD.
Yeah.
He just was very...
He had that one.
Everything had its place.
Yeah.
So failing that, later he goes to... Right, so later he called the police from the payphone, which was bad because...
And he used his damn Irish accent. And it's like, dude, how many Irish people are running around Oregon?
Yeah.
That you're going to use your regular accent. You need to get somebody else to... Get your friend with an American accent to call.
To just call and be like, hey, read exactly what I just said. If they have questions, tell me and I will answer.
And... later, there's a chance to run him over with the cars, but Jessica also suggested when he was just in the street. So he called the police. He goes to actually watch outside the house to see if it works.
And very Jeffrey Dahmer-esque, when one of his victims escaped, they walk up to the house and they're like, oh, this nice white man.
Yeah.
Telling me that nothing's going on, and it's just this lady he was apparently having vigorous sex with or something.
Yeah. That got there in instant and then immediately got rid of.
Yeah, my theory was that maybe she was a past trainee or something, or maybe one of his graduates.
He kills all of them.
Yeah,
So
that was a
that's why
good theory.
That lie pit.
And then at the end, it was like, oh, here's
all of his dead people.
Yeah, they certainly didn't follow up on that if that was the intent. So someone who's willing to get there that quickly, dress in lingerie and make it look like they...
Hooker, my guess.
Yeah, it's being paid for services.
Perhaps. Maybe has her own speed dial just for that reason. So, okay. Yeah, there's... one of my notes about that. So they get in there, eventually, get inside, and he had just... I don't know how he could have done it that quickly. I mean, I guess he had a lot of tarp or vinyl or something hanging in that computer room. Yeah. So it looks like he was able to just tear it down quickly and move it out, make everything look like nothing ever happened. But it was so quick. They didn't really give us an indication of how much time had passed during all those things.
Yeah, and if the cops are taking that long to get to a house when someone's like, there's a woman chained up in his office. Yeah. If they're taking that long
there's a problem.
Because that's at least 20 minutes. I mean, I think on the low end, if you could get that done that quick, that's at least 20 minutes.
Well, the first time they didn't even go in the house, so he had more time even to when because he saw the car waiting there, and then was like,
right. So then he set the bait for him and his friend to come back. Sean and his friend, or his accomplice, to come back to the house and get in through the window to look around, and then called the cops on them for breaking in.
Yeah,
so that's when they
to be his neighbor.
That's when they came in and investigated and saw that the room was just already cleaned up. I put down that he had like the same powers as the Collector.
Yeah.
Super trap skills.
Yeah, super cleaning, super arranging.
Yeah.
It's a superpower.
I thought at first, like, the other cop he, like, convinces where he's like, why would I be here if I was bullshitting you about robbing this guy and doing all this stuff? I thought for a second he would be like the cop that would go above and beyond. I mean, he went and he asked questions, and I was like...
And he got snowed. Oh, yeah.
I was like, you do see that these are two entire... Like, the stories are told so contradictory. And I'm like, wouldn't you at least do further work?
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He just comes back. Again, this nice white man is telling me these things. Not that Sean isn't also a white man, but it just reminded me of, like, the Jeffrey Dahmer thing so much.
I like that in retrospect now, because they didn't make it that easy. They make it like one local cop is going to be able to do all this.
They certainly didn't make it easy.
So it made more sense that even though it seemed like he was blowing them off, the suggestion of the FBI was better because they would have more resources and probably more oversight as to what was going on in other places.
Yeah, they were able to link it to all the other cases, finally.
Then luckily, the tenacious cop was that FBI agent lady.
Thank goodness. Yeah, she was cool.
I love also the realism of her just sort of stonewalling him. Even though she was going to work on it, even though she had some ideas, she's not giving it to him like, oh yes, I believe you, I'm going to do this, and just.
Yeah. She's like, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Stop asking.
Not even saying anything, just like, yes, thank you.
Yeah, some of the. So I fully expected to be like lectured about the dark web or some shit in this movie.
Oh yeah,
they did not mention the dark web once. I was like, good.
This guy was just crazy.
Yeah, but then he was like some sort of god tier hacker who can magically make files download within seconds.
I know,
and
in the time of a shower.
Yeah, downloaded everything on his computer, and I'm like, my iTunes wouldn't download that fast. It would take hours.
Yeah.
I don't think so. And he got all of his pictures and was able to somehow ruin his entire family and friends' lives within a day. And I was just like, that seems not real. Like, how'd he get all of... No.
That's why he's the Collector.
He's like, he even got the photos from the camera, and I'm like... It's like he must have put the little... downloaded from the laptop and from the camera because he hadn't loaded those back up yet. So I'm like, because he had to actually pick it up and be like, look, that was looking through it. That was my gesture for looking through it. Sorry.
I have a joke here, which I don't even remember the actual derivation of. There was something, what was going on with the circular motion? What was that a reference to?
You wash yourself.
Wash yourself with circular motion.
Yes. They put, they doubted her commitment to circular motion.
Jeez.
Thank you.
Which all went back to his weird horse fetish.
Yep.
He's breaking in horses.
Yeah.
He was like a religious nut, but with horses.
His entire house was horse iconography.
So we eventually realize, or are made to realize, that the bit they showed at the very beginning with the kid kind of like beating the horse is like, well, screw it, and shot the horse.
No,
was part of his origin story.
He killed the horse and then shot the woman in the face.
I thought he was...
No, that's what the FBI said. They said, yeah, he tried to break the horse before its time.
Oh, right, yes.
And killed it instead. And then when she screamed and got upset, he shot her and killed her.
Yes.
So that's what we saw at the beginning.
Right.
Was a murder and a horse murder.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Because he was whipping the horse.
Yeah. In the face of all things.
Yeah. And it was interesting when someone calls his captive, right? Calls him Kale. She's like, Kale, please, or something like that. And he's like, who's Kale?
And he's like, that's not my name.
He's crazy. And he's like, you're going to be, what was it? Not purified. Was it purified? Something like that. Made clean or some crazy nonsense. And then you'll get freedom. And that's a lie.
Freedom is death, by the way.
He had a pit
of lie.
Well, and like
of lies. Jess.
No, under that.
Pit of lies. Oh,
Yes.
Keith had the same joke that I came up with.
His pit with, I didn't understand why he had like a cover on it when he just buried people in the walls. I was like, okay.
It's like that lie pit's not doing a very good job if like that woman's whole face was still not eaten up. I was like,
it's like, you're bad at this.
That's bad. That's bad lie usage. And she was like this too. So it's like, how did you like stand her up straight and bury up to here and lie and then be done with it?
Little catacomb thing.
He's not a very good liar.
Keith.
Anyway, the whole thing about the origin stories, the idea was that he was trying to live out that training fantasy on women now instead of horses, trying to make up for those mistakes.
He's going to break the woman to follow his standards of a horse.
And that's why he used chains and he used like a bit.
Yeah, he uses a horse bit, but for a woman.
So then, Sean...
Pink, made for a woman.
Sean, the reformed Samaritan, I think Kale realized that this was like a good nemesis for him. And he was trying to break him and his family as well.
Oh,
so.
I don't think he was trying to reform him in any way. He was just going to just mess up his life for the fun of it.
The FBI agent thought that they wanted to break him.
Because he was not interested. Because when he went after the friend, he was like, there's nothing redeeming about you. Like, you can't be cleansed.
Look at this squalor you live in.
Yeah, you can't be cleansed. So he just killed him.
Yeah.
And that was when Sean started doing smart things, was when he's like, friend, whose name I forget, friend, pick up the phone, friend, because they were on FaceTime. And then David Tennant picks it up and he screenshots his face. I was like, boom.
That was great. Kale's reaction to that, like he just picked up a grenade or something, like,
ah! He just started screaming. It was so good. That was one of the best acting parts of that, I think.
But not only did he kill his friend, he killed his friend's whole family.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what the fuck?
And that's the thing that I was like, a guy that's going to go murder-suicide is not going to buy thousands of dollars worth of iPhones.
Yeah.
And then be like, well, I guess it's my time to go. Bang, mom. Bang, me.
There's remorse. His mom caught him. He was like, well...
Keith, you're not going to convince me on this one. And I think that doesn't sound very believable in any way.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was his gun. Because he's like, remember this gun you stole from me?
Yeah.
It's like, what?
So later on, one of my notes here is that we find out that, well, when we're making the connection of who Kale was or is, when he's talking to his family accountant. And I remember his name because of something that Jessica said.
What did I say? Mitchell, what the fuck? That's right, I did. I was like, how can you know what he's doing, Mitchell? Yeah, I can tell by the expression on your face. How you're like, oh God, he's done it again. It's the same expression that the old dude from The Incredibles gets every time the PARs break national security. And he's just like, oh God, I have to fix this.
Must fix.
Accountants.
Mm-hmm. So we kind of covered our nitpicky stuff. What were the things that we liked, didn't like?
I liked that the girl lived at the end because I thought she died and I was pissed.
I was like, whoa.
What you really said was this, Marianne.
I wanted a happy end for this shit.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm okay with having a bad ending occasionally, like Brightburn and the Ring and The Grudge and all those. But this one, I kind of was like, I didn't see them coming out with a sequel for it. I mean, it didn't seem like a sequel-worthy thing.
Yeah.
Is there going to be another Bad Samaritan that's going to try? No.
Well, I had his Worst Samaritan.
No.
First of all, and then also the tagline for this movie could have been "Wild people cannot be broken."
That's a pretty good one, actually.
Thank you.
That's an actual tagline for the movie. It could be. So.
Thank you.
I thought you were going for funny. So.
Well, I thought it was funny, but who knows?
I thought that was very deep, actually. So.
I already said I liked the acting.
Yeah.
The characters could have been a little smarter. The cops could have been a little smarter because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this guy we've gotten multiple calls about,
Yeah.
and then his house explodes.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, come on now.
Figure this out, guys.
Something's going on here. Because he set a booby trap to make his house explode.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And that was also when Sean was being smart. It's like he just got in his car in this garage and floored it out of the garage.
That seems a little risky doing the whole "I need to fake my own death in the moment" thing. Maybe.
Who? Sean?
Yeah, I think that was the idea of him waiting like that for the explosion to happen.
Oh,
like
I thought he
timed it
was
so it
waiting for the garage door to open because it was a slow garage door.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been that too.
What was the other one? I liked the Chekhov's bolt cutters because he gets up to the gate at the cabin and is like, ha ha ha, and then is like, no, kind of drops him and just ducks his way through the gate.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a weapon, sir.
Yeah. Use it. He was very bad at rescuing people.
He was, but he kept trying.
Yeah, he tried. That was his redeeming quality, is that he did not give up.
Yeah, even when, Cale kept doing terrible things to him and his family. Yeah. And his stepdad was like, no, you're coming with me to the hotel. Yeah. You don't even know this girl. That was everyone's reaction. You don't even know this girl.
Yeah, I really liked the actor's choice of just when he got in the car and was driving back, knowing he had left the girl there. The tears that they were just slipping, they were in his eyes and they would slip down and he was just rubbing his face, and I was just like, good acting, good reactions. And yeah. I was like, I almost wanted him to do that at the police station so they could see how serious. I thought they would take him more seriously if he was having a reaction like that. Well,
they could also think he's schizophrenic or something.
Mm-hmm. True.
So that reminds me of what I was trying to say before about his persistence. I think that's why Cale found him fascinating. That's why he was trying to break him in that sense. That last conversation they had before, as the victim was climbing out of the well, saying, what was it? What was the point of this? What did you accomplish by coming here and doing all this for someone you don't even know? He said, I've done it.
Yeah.
That is it. He couldn't live with himself unless he tried everything he could.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good.
And I'm glad that she came back to help him.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I was like, bye.
Yeah.
Hope you're okay. But her line of, and that's how you rescue someone, which is so good. Because she's probably like, where the hell is he going? Why is he leaving again? I'm pointing at you. There's someone behind you. Oh my God. Great. Yeah.
How she screamed for him. When she had the collar on.
She had the shot collar on.
And she still screamed to warn him. Yeah. I was like,
I didn't catch that. I'd forgotten.
I was like, oh, girl.
Yeah.
Oh, girl.
Alrighty, folks. Let's get our ratings. I think we just have one rating there. I mean, it was not really a horror in the sense of gore. It was more of a creep factor, I would say. Hey, I got a girl tied up.
Hey, I'm kind of weirdly religious.
Where horses are my god or something.
It's a very Equus feeling right here.
So Keith, why don't you start?
You're going to undercut me. I know it.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I rate this entertainment value as probably an 8. Creep factor 5. I mean, I didn't really get squiggy, but I can see other people getting squiggy.
Okay. Creep factor 4. Yes. I got her, finally. No. I
like David Tennant being creepy, so
He's good at it.
That's kind of my jam.
So for me, this wasn't really about necessarily being creepy, but it's that kind of putting yourself in that situation and how horrifying it would be to have somebody able to mess with your life in that way, or being in a position where you had to decide that ruining your own life, even like saying, okay, arrest me, I'm going to go to jail, whatever. I have to do this because this is even worse. I thought that was pretty intense and kind of scary in that sense. So at least a 6 or a 7. And entertainment, what?
I'm just saying, this is your chance to undercut me.
I'm taking the high road.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Entertainment, probably an 8, as you were saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, entertainment. I did yell at the TV a lot. So.
I did too. But it didn't take anything away.
Yeah. The acting again was great. So I'd say 7 or 8. Yeah, entertainment. David Tennant being a creep. It's not as creepy as when he's yelling my name creepily like he does in Jessica Jones. So it's less creepy than that. But I'd say he was about a 4. Movie creep. If I had to deal with him in person, he'd be a higher.
Much higher.
Much higher. So yeah.
Which accent?
Oh God. Which one's scary? It's almost weirder that when he's not using his own accent, you're like, I'm uncomfortable.
What is this?
It's because you know. It's like it's ingrained.
Alrighty, folks. That's all we have for today. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's All Been Done presents.
Who's got the time?
Ha ha ha!